guys, I'm back today sharing my process video for my week 2 project life for 2019. So this one I'm going to put a flip pocket in. We took a video of the little one sledding. So I uploaded that to YouTube and created a QR code. So I'm going to do a flip pocket so that I can include that QR code as well as the picture. And I'm sorry up front for my voice. I have been sick. I don't know if I sound like a frog or if I sound like a man. We will find out. So I'm using the gel kit again. And I've already pre-planned the cards for this one. So I'm just looking through the chipboard trying to figure out what pieces that I can use. And then I've also got that weather report card, which is from Ellie's Studio, that will go nicely with this layout, which is mostly about a couple of Sundays ago, we got about 11 inches of snow. So we went to Target and we bought some sleds and we took the girls out. So you see there that I was trying to layer a little banner piece that says "Worth It" on top of one of those super tiny chipboard tags. I love the way that it turns out. I don't end up using that on this layout, but it does make it onto the next one. I love the way those two pieces look layered on top of each other. They're just adorable. Those little tiny tags are just super cute. So I'm just going through the ephemera pieces, trying to figure out what I can use on this layout. I don't really know what direction I'm going. So I'm just trying to pick out a label. I want to include the dates on each of my weekly spreads. And I think if I just stamped the dates directly onto that 4x6 piece of pattern paper that I cut out, that they'll just kind of get lost because it's quite a busy pattern. So I'm going to pull out, there's 3 black acetate hearts included in that pack, so I'm going to use those on the title card. My voice really sounds terrible. I am so sorry, you guys. So I'm just going to move everything out of the way so that I can get started. So I told you guys that I was super sad that I couldn't get that Allie Edwards weekly stamp. So I kind of went bananas and I imported it into Silhouette and turned it into a cut file. So I cut a bunch of the weeks out as well as the numbers. So I guess problem solved. Except I would really like to have a stamp. I will let that go at some point in my life, I know. I will. So I'm just trying to figure out the configuration. I was going to put it down in that bottom right corner, but then I remembered that I believe that's the same placement that I used for week 1, so I didn't want to do the exact same placement for this week. And then you'll see I was going to overhang the label off of the edge, but then when I stamped my dates, I apparently forgot I was going to do that. I'm so sorry. So I kept thinking I was going to add some more things into it, but in the end I decided to just leave it pretty much the way that you see it. So I'm just going to stamp my dates, and this is what I'm talking about. I just go too far over. I'm almost all the way over on the edge, so now I can't overhang it off the end of the card. But that's okay. I'm still happy with the way that it turns out. So far I think for this month, my favorite items that I've been using just over and over again, you'll see that those pink typewriter font stamps that are laying there, I use those again. and the Felicity Jane cardstock letter stickers, which are over there on the right. I have been using the heck out of those two items this month so far. And I really think that those typewriter font stamps I'm probably going to use throughout the whole album. I just love them. They're a really good size, and I like how you can snap them together. So I'm just going to use some Tombow glue to stick that little weak die cut down. I'm going to overhang it on the label just like I had it. And then I'm going to stick the two down, and then I will staple on those three little hearts. That was the craziest snow, you guys. We had no snow, and then it stayed at probably about 35 degrees, but we got dumped on that day. Ended up with about probably 11 or 12 inches. And it was a really thick, wet, heavy snow. So we took the girls next door. We live next door to a school, and there was a pretty good sized hill in the back on the side of the school. So we took the girls over there. They loved it. I was freezing, you guys. One of the only non-snow pictures on my layout. I was leaving work one day and the sunset just looked beautiful. So I just stopped at the roundabout when I was leaving work and snapped a picture of it real quick. So I'm going to use that typewriter font stamp, and I'm going to spell out what, and then I'm going to use the A, and then I'll use those Felicity Jane cardstock stickers to spell out view. So it'll say, what a view. And here you can tell, I tried to go for the W first, wasn't feeling very well. My brain just was not working like it normally does. So I'm just going to make sure those are all even before I place them on top of my photo and stick them down. And then I was thinking one of the stamps on that Felicity Jane Jill stamp set, I think it says start and end each day with a grateful heart. I was thinking about using that stamp, but in the end I go back to my original idea. I kind of didn't like the way that it looked right justified because I wanted to put something in the middle of the bluish sky that's in the picture. And I just thought it would look better if it wasn't right justified, if it was centered. So I'm just going to use my StazOn ink and stamp what. Be very careful. I've been having more trouble lately stamping onto photos. I think it might be because I heard someone say in one of their videos that they don't usually have trouble stamping on pictures because the photo paper that you buy to use for home use absorbs the ink better. And I've been ordering my pictures from Persnickety Prints because it's just easier, and then I don't have to burn through all the ink and then go up to the store to get ink. It's first world problems, I know. But it's definitely a slicker surface, a slicker paper than when I print photos at home. So then on this photo of my oldest on our snow tube, I'm just going to stick down that little chipboard that says happy, and that one's done. And then on the weather report, I can't remember what the weather was actually like that day. I think the high was around 35 or 36, but I can't really remember. So for the high and the low, I'm just going to stamp cold, because it was cold. It was cold in the morning, and it was cold in the evening. And then I have pre-printed my journaling to go on that card, just using my computer. And I use the font Mom's Typewriter. I think that I got from probably dafont.com, since I don't have a typewriter. So I am just going to cut out all of that journaling into little strips, and then I'm going to adhere that down. And I just journaled about the fact that we got 11 inches of snow, and it was a perfect day for taking the girls out sledding for the first time, and that we all had a really good time. Mom and Dad even went down on the unicorn snow tube. And then when we got home, we had some hot chocolate. It was kind of like the perfect winter day. It was fantastic. So I'm just going to make sure that they are all where they are supposed to be. I'm going to trim down some of the strips. The text didn't go all the way to the end of the strip, so I'm just going to trim those down a little bit shorter. And then I'm going to glue those down again with the Tombow adhesive. I am so sorry, you guys. I'm still loving the gel kit. I've got so much of it still left over. Have you guys seen the sneaks? Well, I guess it's actually the full reveal is out for the Lindsay kit. It is so beautiful. So I decided to use my Nuvo glue to stick down the strips. Actually, I forgot about that. It's got a finer tip than the Tombow does, but my bottle was clogged up for some reason, so I just had to squeeze out a bunch of it to get it unclogged. Can't wait for the Lindsay kit to come in. It's going to be fantastic. Although I still have a couple of layouts left to use the gel kit for my January layouts. And actually there's some pieces in the gel kit I think that would look beautiful for a February or a Valentine's Day, because there's so much pink in it. And it's got those beautiful floral stamps. Not really done using it yet. So then I'm just gonna stamp down my date that we got the snow. I do remember the day for that. And then that card, it will be done. So my next photo, my oldest she was funny when we were sledding. She would sled down the hill, and then I would say at least 50% of the time she wouldn't want to climb back up the hill. So my husband had to carry her and the snow tube back up the hill. She was worn out. We left not long after that. So I cut out some of that. I stamped on my photo. Stamp didn't work right. It slid and it blurred and it didn't stamp all the way. And then because I've got sick brain going on, I stamped wrong on the label anyway. So now I've got it right. So I'm just going to adhere that little label with my tiny attacher and cut the excess off. And I'm happy with the way that it turned out. Added a little bit of color to that photo. It looked good. So now for my flip pocket, I'm going to go ahead and stick down that little piece of ephemera. I think it says "You Go Girl." She really was very apprehensive to sled at first. I don't know what she thought was going to happen, but she was kind of scared. So I was pretty excited when she started having fun. So here's my QR code. I just uploaded the video to YouTube and then generated the QR code. So now when you're looking through the album, if you've got the QR reader on your cell phone, you can scan the QR codes and then watch the little videos that go with the different days or weeks or events or whatever it is. So I just wanted to back that with the plain pink cardstock that came with the gel kit, just to add a little bit of color to it, because obviously the QR code is black and white and the card that I used is just black and white too. And the inside of the flip pocket, I don't really show you guys, but I used one of the 3x4 cards that came with the kit. It's got a pink background and then like a random white polka dot on it, but it actually kind of reminds me of snow. So I used that, and then I used an overlay that I got, oh gosh, from one of the Becky Higgins variety packs of pocket pages a long time ago. I think I got it on clearance from one of the stores, Hobby Lobby or Joann's or Michael's. But the set that I got came with a bunch of gold foil overlays, so that one just said The Sweet Life. So I layered that on top of that pink card and just tucked it in there. And then I'm just going to use those black alphas again to spell out sledding. And miraculously, those letters, I thought for a minute that they were going to be way too big for this, but it actually works perfectly. They just go right across the card there. I am so sorry, you guys. Probably should not have done a voiceover today. See, so they stretched across that card just perfectly. So you get to see my fancy updo again. My curly hair is out of control. And then I'm going to stick down the QR code, and then I'm going to staple it in the corner. And I'm just going to be careful that I don't staple the actual QR code. So that one is done. What am I thinking about doing? But that's done. So only a couple of pieces left for this layout. This photo I took actually from our bathroom window. And you can barely see anything in it, but that's actually a school. There in the background, there's two rather large trees that are snow covered. So if that tells you how much snow we got, you really can barely even see anything besides snow in that photo. And then I'm using the stamp that came in the gel stamp set, which says Hello Beautiful, because even though I am not really a snow person, I don't like the winter. I don't like it cold. And I for sure don't like snow. I don't mind it as much when we don't have to go anywhere, and it was a Sunday that we got the snow, so that was good. But it was just absolutely beautiful. It reminded me, I kept having a moment where I felt like in A Christmas Story when he wakes up on Christmas morning and he looks out the window and they got all that snow and he was like, wow. That was the feeling I had multiple times until it finally melted enough to melt down off of the trees. So I stamped that in the middle, and then I'm putting on one of these pink hearts from an Illustrated Faith set that perfectly matches the pink in the gel kit. And then this is the last photo, and this one cracks me up. My husband and our littlest one were having a snowball fight, and then our oldest one, if you can see her down in the right corner of that photo, was just laying face first in the snow. Just laying there. She was kind of cracking me up. So again, I'm going to pull out those typewriter font stamps, and I'm going to stamp out Snowball. I need to figure out a better storage solution for these things because I have them all just dumped in that bag, in a Ziploc bag, and it just takes forever sometimes to find the letters that I'm looking for. And then again, I'm going to pull in that black alpha and I'm going to spell out fight. And I think that's all that I'm going to do with that card. So I'm going to end up stamping it up there in that top right corner. I did do better this time with making sure that I was using StazOn on my slick surfaces, that's for sure. So there's Snowball, and then I will stick down fight. Oops, sorry. I'm not going to see it though. Just want to make sure those are nice and stuck down. So that's all my completed cards for week 2. Oh, and then on the flip pocket, I've already adhered it down. I just want to add on a little tab so that people know that it's a flip pocket. So I used one of the tiny word strips from, I think, the Casual Phrases or whatever it's called by Tim Holtz. I think it says be brave, because that was pretty applicable to my daughter sledding for the first time. She was brave, and I'm proud of her. So then I struggled. I was going to put it on the left, but it would cover up the heart this, and then I was going to put it there, but then it covers up the snowball fight. So I've got to stick it over on the right side, which, I mean, it'll be fine. Just probably not the best placement for it, but I didn't really plan for it very well, did I? So I'm just going to stick it down. And then that'll be it. So then I'll give you guys a close-up view at each of the different rows. I had so much fun this week. I love the gel kit. The colors in it are just beautiful. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.